How's it going, everyone? Welcome back into the channel. It is time to do yet another film review. Sadly, it's after a loss. I do have a lot to review, but I'm not going to make this super lengthy. There's a lot of iffy stuff in this game. But the majority of it isn't really like, oh, it's on film and that's where we messed up. Like, there is some, but a lot of it's just like bad execution or dropping the football or dropping the snap, right? There is some bad like schematic things, definitely. But how's everyone doing in the chat on this fine Wednesday afternoon? Yep, Wednesday. Geez, week's going by fast. I usually do these on Tuesday, but since it's a bye week, I was like, you know what? No reason to really rush this. Since the trade deadline day was yesterday, I was like, I figured something was going to happen with the Green Bay Packers. I was like, I'm not going to do a film review that I'm doing, and then all of a sudden they trade away or trade for a player, which they did trade away Preston Smith, which if you guys have been following the channel, was my projection, or my prediction, should I say, of one of their players that I think they could trade away, and they did. They saved a lot of money. I'll touch on this before we get into the film review. I know it's not the topic of this video. They saved a lot of money doing so. I know some people might be mad that we lost a a team leader, right? But at the same time, his contract was only going to go up and up and up in 2025 and 2026, and that was going to be a problem, right? Everyone always says we never go out and get anyone. Well, if the trading away of Preston Smith frees up that much money to where in 2025 and 2026 we go out and get another Xavier McKinney, another Josh Jacobs, it's very worth it. Right? Our best player on offense and defense right now were signed because of moves made like we just made yesterday. Because we get rid of older players with older contracts that don't make sense, right? Everyone likes to hate on, or not everyone, a lot of people like to hate on Brian Gutekunst, but the Packers are consistently in the running. And I know it's not, hey, we haven't won a Super Bowl since 2010, but they're consistently in the running, which I would take that every day of the week, right? Than being a team that maybe flashes for 1 year, still doesn't get a Super Bowl, but then is in salary cap hell for the next 10. Look at the New Orleans Saints. That's exactly where they are right now. So also wanted to let you guys know that this video is being powered by Sleeper. Here's a quick word from the sponsor. So you see that correctly. Use code BASS on Sleeper. I pinned the link in the chat as well. Supporting the sponsor is supporting the channel. You'll get a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. I just announced on the community page who won the Xavier McKinney jersey of October. So go check my community tab and see if you won that. I also emailed you on the corresponding email of your username on Sleeper. And since that giveaway's over, doing another one. Jaden Reed jersey. How you enter? Make a first-time deposit with code BASS. It's, I think, a minimum of $10. You'll get that match. Then you'll have $20 to make your picks for the upcoming slate of games. You can kind of play this upcoming slate of weekend of games without worrying about the Green Bay Packers, right? And hopefully, make some money, but always remember to gamble responsibly. Again, sign up on Sleeper with code BASS. Supporting the sponsor is always supporting the channel. So I appreciate you guys so much on that. All right, so let's dive right into it. Let's switch the screen. Let's go into film review. Landon, you're saying, can you drop the bangers with your new jersey? Listen, I chose number 13, not because of Dontayvion Wicks. The fact that he actually is my favorite receiver in the NFL, even through all of this, he still is, just because of the way he runs routes. I love watching his game. I picked number 13 because it's what I've been wearing in my recreational flag football league for like the past 8 years. Not to mention the other numbers I like is 4, and I don't want to, put 4 on a jersey to be like, oh, well, everyone walking up to me is like, that's a Brett Favre jersey, right? 15 is the day I was born in March. That's Bart Starr. So 13 was kind of my way to go with that. Also 13 championships. Why not? It just makes sense. So I went with 13 because of that. All jokes aside, I like the number 13 for at least number I've used in the past. So it's go from Serbia. Luca, nice to have you here. All right, so let's get into it. First play, I have a list. It's not as long as last week. I have a list of plays. It's not as long as last week because sometimes it's like, you can only watch so much of the crap, per se. So the first play is going to be a Christian Watson deep out route on the right side here. And is there any Oladapo clips? He was only on special teams, so not on defense. I wish they played him some on defense at this rate. So Watson, I had some recency bias when I made my PFF video, and I was like, oh, I think he's going to be one of the lower graded players. But once I watched the film again, I was like, he actually had a really solid game outside of the deep ball, which we'll look at, and another one on the right pylon that he kind of misjudged as well. He had some really nice crisp routes, and Watson is definitely getting better as a route runner. So he's at the bottom of the screen here. Actually, my cursor is not on. I always have to turn that off because I use, where are we at? It's because I use OBS to screen record these plays sometimes, and I don't like the cursor in it. But then when I'm doing streams, I'm like, okay, I want the cursor to at least. Also, I know other people do film reviews. I don't know if you guys know of the program. People can like draw on the screen and whatnot. If anyone knows how to do that, let me know. So Christian Watson, the bottom of the screen here. I think the Lions are in either a cover 4 or cover 2. It could be cover 2 man. Outside shade. Christian Watson's going to have to run an out route against outside shade. So what you want to do is attack the inside hip of that cornerback, threaten vertical, break outside underneath. It's a beautifully ran route, kind of a ball that could have been thrown a little bit quicker, a little bit more on timing, but nonetheless, a very by the book route by Christian Watson. And let me see, is a cornerback. So what are they in? Do they drop to cover 3? What are they in? No, they're in cover 3. So robber safety right here drops down. Third. Really nicely ran route by Christian Watson down there. Again, by the book against outside shade zone would be to threaten. See how the cornerback's covering the sideline. He doesn't want anyone to run an out, run a corner, run a comeback. So you threaten vertical, threaten the inside, pretty much make him flip his hips, attack the defender, strong breakdown, drop your hips, drop, sink, and break outside. So, Christian Watson, one of his issues in the past has been, route running, and he looked really good in this game in terms of route running. So he's definitely getting better in that regard. All right, 9:26 in the first quarter. Here's a really nice Jordan Morgan block. Jordan Morgan got his first start at, I believe, left guard. I think he's on this side. I think Sean Ryan, which is a shock to me. I thought they'd flip Ryan, keep Jordan Morgan where he's been playing. But yeah, what are people arguing in the comments? What are we talking about? Rasul, I don't even feel like talking. I don't even feel like looking at it. Jordan Morgan at the left side here. Really nice block to set up Josh Jacobs on this 11-yard run. So his progression kind of zone block here, starts on, I think that's 95, gets a double team, then progresses up to 46. Jack Campbell, good linebacker, and just moves him out of the way. So Jordan Morgan did allow 4 pressures. He did allow 4 pressures in this game, so he wasn't the best in terms of pass blocking, but I did notice him so many times in the run game where I was like, he's moving some people out there. So I think they do have a future with Jordan Morgan as an interior guy. I think he could eventually swing out to tackle, but honestly, I kind of like him right now, and it's rookie year, so we have a lot of ball game left, but I like him as like a people mover, kind of similar to the Sean Ryan, and I think the Packers need to add more people movers into the interior. We have a lot of pass blocking proficient linemen, which is great. I love that. But the Packers are seemingly becoming more of like a power running football team because they have guys like Jordan Morgan and Sean Ryan. All right, Quay Walker. Oh, man, we have a lot of Quay Walker plays. And yeah, it's just not great. There's a lot. You think NFL Game Pass lets you draw on the film? Am I missing something here? Because I'm on NFL Pro, which is pretty much Game Pass, right? Like, Film Room 101. What's on the side here? I don't know. I'll figure it out later, but if I could draw on this, that would be awesome. So, Quay Walker at the mic in this game. I would say an up and down game after watching. NFL Pro doesn't allow you to. Well, that's just foolish because this is how you, like, sort through all the plays. I would say an up and down game. There is some good from Quay Walker in his return here from his concussion, but there's a lot of bad. I kind of forget what this play is. Yeah, it just kind of gets completely washed out of this play. I mean, he does a good recognition of this run here, kind of playing this, but then, doesn't do a really good job of staying in that run lane, kind of just slightly overcommits and then gets washed out of that play completely, and that's a big run for David Montgomery. The Packers didn't do a good job at assessing run lanes and finding the correct run fits in this game. You got Edgerrin Cooper out here as well. There's multiple times where Packers players just completely went to the wrong hole. And given, this is a great cutback by David Montgomery. He is a great running back. Like, he's a terrific running back, and he just cooked is that Devontae Wyatt. So this is also a bad play on Devontae Wyatt, but Quay Walker could have done a better job here of kind of just waiting a second. Like he kind of, a lot of the times just like gets a little antsy and it's like, okay, I got to shoot. And he just overcommits. And that happens a lot. And I think as a Mike, you kind of got to let the play process and then attack, right? And he's a kind of half second too quick every time. And that's why it's like you kind of want him to be strong side. What is the stance by JJ? Where is JJ? Where? Enigbare? Where is he at? I don't know. Where is JJ Enigbare on here? There's Lucas Van Ness. Lucas Van Ness continues to have like great hustle on plays, and he was the lowest graded PFF defender by the Green Bay Packers, but there's multiple times, and I'll show you on here, he has great run defense. And I think the Packers felt very comfortable trading Preston Smith because LVN has given them the same as Preston Smith in terms of a run defender, an edge holder, right? So I think they're comfortable with that. Oh, speaking of the devil, the next play actually is a nice play by LVN. You know, I think a lot of people look at the stat sheet and they go, oh, he doesn't have that many pressures. He doesn't have that many sacks. He's a bust, right? Playing 4-3 defensive end isn't all about getting after the passer. You know, it's great when they do. You know, you have guys like Rashawn Gary for that, but you also need guys that can have some versatility, can play inside, play outside, defend against the run. Here's LVN at the top of the screen, you know, just bending through that block. Great bend on that block here, getting underneath, getting through that block, and wrapping up David Montgomery. So he does a good job at holding his edge there, and I'll go to the end zone view. Carl Brooks and Colby Wooden are underrated. I think Carl Brooks is definitely underrated, but here on the outside, kind of like a wide 9 against that, Taylor Decker does a really good job at bending under that block and then getting right in that run lane and wrapping up David Montgomery for no gain. You know, him and Eric Wilson made a play on this. See Eric Wilson shooting the gap there a little bit, but mainly Lucas Van Ness getting in the way, excuse me. All right, what do we have? Hold, what is this? 19 seconds? Oh, this is terrible. I put this on Twitter, and, you know, I'm all for the refs not, like, dictating a game, like, fully, but when you open a game giving a penalty to Keyshawn Nixon for something so simple as just, like, a little bit of jawing and maybe put his hand in someone's face mask, but, like, that happened on every play. And then multiple other plays that you call holding on the Packers, like, during this game, especially at third down on Keyshawn Nixon, and multiple holdings on our offensive linemen right at, like, the drive before this. And then the Lions come out here on 3rd and 7 on their first offensive drive, right? And they're going to hand it off to David Montgomery. It's going to go for 2 yards. Then after that, of course, there's the encroachment. But it shouldn't even have been 3rd and 5. After this play, it should have been 3rd and 17. Watch this terrible hold on Carl Brooks. The ref, there's one ref down here, one here. They are staring at it. It's not even excusable. Like, oh, the sight line was blocked. That is an awful hold on Carl Brooks. Right in the run lane, too. Right in the run lane. And I'll slow it down so we could see it a little bit better here. So Carl Brooks, right here. He gets instant penetration and probably stops this run for no gain or loss. And Penei Sewell just wraps him up. And he does let go pretty quickly, but that's so obvious. Like, that is so obvious for both of these referees. And like I said, if they were calling the game and, like, letting it play and weren't calling ticky-tack holdings like that, I'd be fine with it. But the drive before and the drive before, and I believe the drive after this, they called holding on the Packers offensive lineman for less. So it's very confusing to me. I wish the referees would be consistent on both accords. I know this happens to every team in the NFL. So, yeah. Are you going to show the St. Brown touchdown? Nixon never plays the ball, and it pisses me off. Yeah, I'll show it and explain why I think it's just a beautiful ran route and ball by Jared Goff and not as much on Nixon as people are making out to be, but I do agree he needs to turn his head. SL50, appreciate the donation. Thoughts on Bullard? Doesn't feel like he has a clear spot but can play anywhere, whereas Evans not as versatile. but has a clear role with his skill. I'll agree and disagree with that statement. I think Javon Bullard and Evan Williams can play multiple spots. I think Evan Williams is the more consistent deep guy, and Javon Bullard's the more consistent at the line of scrimmage guy. Javon Bullard had a good game here. He had a good game in this game, in my opinion. So I like the potential of both of them. Like, they're both rookies, right? They're only going to get better with good coaching and good players around them. So I like both picks. All right, we have, oh yeah, we can just look at the St. Brown touchdown. I wasn't going to show it, but why not? I'll show it so we can check this out. My dog's moving into the hallway. She'll be fine. So it's a motion by St. Brown, man coverage by the Packers. The Lions know that. That's why they do a motion like that. It's a reverse zig by St. Brown. Honestly, not even ran that hard. St. Brown didn't really sell this reverse zig, kind of just half-assed it, but great ball. Great ball by Jared Goff on the outside, and a tremendous possession catch by Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I know a lot of people's concern there, Keyshawn Nixon, you got to get your head around. And I agree. There's a lot of times where Nixon seemingly doesn't do a good job of getting his head around. And yeah, that's the case here. Nixon's in man coverage, so you're watching the hips, you're watching the eyes, and you're watching the hands of the receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown does a nice job of getting a slight push off. Wouldn't call that a penalty. I think it's a great job of just barely doing it to gain a little bit of separation. He's a great wide receiver in this league. But you'd like to see Keyshawn Nixon, kind of read his eyes a little bit better. He kind of gets thrown off balance, and then he's just kind of out of the play. I'd like to see Nixon at least get this arm up. Like, the moment, you see St. Brown going for this ball, you see his eyes, you see his hands, at least get a hand up, right? Try to fight through that football. He's real late to that. And then at that point, he's just kind of grasping at straws, saying, oh, maybe I can try to push him out of bounds. It shouldn't come down to that. You should at least try to get a hand in the way. Like, if you're in man coverage and your back's turned to the quarterback, read the eyes, read the hands, and at least just get your hands up when that moment comes, right? So maybe it hits the back of your hand. Maybe it hits your helmet. I don't know. But he didn't do either of those, so that's definitely a problem. What do we have? 14:49 in the second. Oh, here's a great Tucker Kraft block. Great Tucker. Excuse me, English is hard. Tucker Kraft, inline tight end right here. This is why he's one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and PFF is finally starting to grade him as such, and a good run blocker and a good blocker overall, because he just seals Jack Campbell on the inside there, completely throws him out of the play. I think it was actually Alex Anzalone, right? 34 is Alex Anzalone right here. And this springs a run for 37 yards. And then, oh man, you love to see it. So a lot of people aren't huge on Dontayvion Wicks because of the drops, but look what he does here. Just bam. Just gets a nice hit on Brian Branch, right? Yeah, this is before the ejection, 32. Yeah, Brian Branch. Branch, a great safety. Wicks comes in, kind of backside block here, gets a nice hit on Brian Branch. Tucker Kraft seals that inside there. That hole opens up. Ben Sims holding his own, and the rest is history in terms of a 37-yard run, a great run by Josh Jacobs, who was eating all day, and I wish the Packers could have ran him more. I really do. I wish the Packers could have ran Josh Jacobs more because, this Lions run defense, I was saying it before the game, I was saying it during, it's not as good as people make it out to be. It's just the fact that they get up early and they get up often, and that's what they did here. So it makes teams not be able to really establish their run game anymore, and that's exactly what happened with the Packers. What do we have? Watson incomplete, 12-23. Trying to see. Oh, yeah, this one. So stack right, Watson on the line of scrimmage. I think he's going to run just a vertical, gets kind of pressed, kind of gets rerouted to the inside, and maybe that's part of the problem here. Watson, against physicality, just really got rerouted 3-4 yards inside. Now he's on the hash, and I think he more should have been on the numbers. And even so, Love puts it out there. If Watson fights towards this football, it's going to be PI. That corner is clearly impeding. It's not PI here because Watson really doesn't fight for the football. He doesn't fight towards the ball. You got to run through that defender like your life depends on it, right? Kraft was wide open. Check down. No, not really. No, Kraft wasn't wide open. This is an okay read. I mean, what are the Lions in? Cover one? Yeah, Lions are in cover one. With cover one, why are you throwing to the safety? Every other player on this field has a 1v1 opportunity except for Watson. It's a 2v1 opportunity. Maybe you throw this in breaker. I mean, the ball's already thrown there. You know, you have Dobbs going outside, cutting back in, kind of like a zig route. Why not just the reverse zig? Why not just hit that? It's 3rd and 8. Maybe you gain 6, then you go for it on 4th and 2. Yeah, it's not a good. It's a fine play call for the coverage. It's just not a good read. You know, when you're maybe he thought no, you can't think it's cover 0 because the safety's way back here. It's cover 1. It's very simply and obviously cover 1. It's like, why would you throw the deep ball at the safety? 2v1. And Watson's got to fight for that. If he fights for that, I think it's PI. But that didn't happen. Quay Walker play 12:09. This one angered me during the game, and you guys let me know what you think. If Quay should have matched this. Again, I know he's in zone. Actually, what are the Packers in? Because that's man coverage on this side. It might be a cover 3 match. I think it's cover 3 match because you got man, deep 3rd zone, middle zone. It might be a cover 3 Mabel or match on the right side. But after this play action, Quay Walker right here, he's just covering grass. If it is a cover 3 Mabel or match or whatever, he knows this right side is man-to-man. Why is he floating in the middle here? You got Eric Wilson on Laporta. You also have Keyshawn Nixon, I think, floating back here. Like, why is he just covering grass? Like, you clearly see, once you see it's not a run, because he's playing the run here at first. He's attack. Okay, play action. Got to get back, right? You see Gibbs leaking out, just covering grass. And then it's just an easy first down. 11 yards. Would he have gotten there even if he reacted instantly? Would he have beaten Gibbs this spot? Maybe not, but it would have looked a lot better, and maybe he would have only gained 6 yards, right? And it's a game of inches. Negating them on certain plays to less yards is how you win games, right? You create 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down, make a punt. So just covering grass there, it happens a lot. 10-19, our only sack in the game, and that was by what we thought when I was watching the game. I was like, we do not need Jake Ryan Taco. Oh my gosh, no, we do not. I was thinking it was Rashawn Gary because they're like the numbers look the same. They have like the same hair, but it was both of them. It was Aaron Mosby and Rashawn Gary closing down on Jared Goff here for their only sack of the day. And a lot of people were like, why did Aaron Mosby just do that to Penei Sewell? Let me put this in slow-mo. Sewell tripped on the left guard. I'm pretty sure. So it's, as much as we want to praise Aaron Mosby as the next coming great edge rusher because we just traded Preston Smith because of this play, Sewell trips on his, see that? Sewell trips on his guard's right foot. So I think Sewell would have locked that up, no problem. But his foot right there gets caught. And that's why he gets absolutely bulldozed. So that's where Aaron Mosby got that pressure. Hey, but it's not his fault. Like, he did a good job at least maybe pushing Sewell into that point where, hey, now he can trip on his left guard, on his right guard. So I'm not discrediting Mosby. I'm just saying it wasn't as crazy as it looked live, where we're like, yeah. No, like, he tripped. He tripped. Sewell's a great tackle. Where are we at? Brian Branch. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I already have on Twitter like way too much. So, and I'm going to be on Roundtable tonight, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking their smack, but I might as well just show you guys this from the All-22 view. It's the Brian Branch hit and ejection. So, trips right, long play. I honestly think, like, actually, no, that wouldn't have been a good read. Yeah, it's a good read for Jordan Love, but ball there. I mean, Brian Branch is almost 4 yards away from him by the time this hits Bo Melton. You can't tell me that couldn't have been avoided. You can't tell me that it's football, and if I don't like it, go watch tennis. Like, there's a reason there's these rules in place and why we're trying to protect players. I get it. Like, back in the day, watching Ed Reed, watching Ray Lewis, this would not have been a penalty. But under the current standards, leading with the crown of your helmet like that, I mean, he dips his entire helmet, man. And I think everyone collectively, Packers and Lions fans, can agree it was a penalty. I think where the argument goes is, should it have been an ejection? I think that's an argument. But I also think he did dip his helmet, and it's something that could have been avoidable. You see it right there. The ball's like bounced way past. It's right there. The ball's already bounced off Bo Melton's chest and bounced behind Brian Branch by the time, and I know I don't want to freeze frame too much because it's a bang-bang type of situation as well, but he sees the ball bounce off his chest. And that's the moment he lowers his helmet and dives in. You know? And Brian Branch, in my opinion, great safety, not inherently a dirty player. I have a completely opposite opinion upon Kirby Joseph, if we're being honest. I like Brian Branch. I think I was more mad at the fact that after this play, Jordan Love was getting his ankle basically pushed on, leaned on. The player had, I think it was James Houston, had Jordan Love's ankle in a basically a chokehold, and was leaning his upper body weight into it after the play on his bad leg. That's bad football, man. That shouldn't be in the game. This, you could maybe sit here and argue, hey, maybe it's a bang bang and, whatever. But the you could see him down here. The ball is thrown, and that's when he starts to twist Jordan Love's ankle. I wish the camera stayed and you could zoom in or something, but yeah, we miss Evan Williams and Jair. We sure do. Clear ejection, went straight for the head. I think the only way you stop this in the NFL is do this. Give penalties and eject a player when it happens. Then they'll learn. They won't start. Yeah, Lions Twitter was disgusting. It was, man. It really was. I've never seen so much of a fan base be happy about players headhunting, be happy about players twisting ankles. Like it's some trophy. Like, oh, if you don't like it, you're soft. Like, I've never been called as many names as I've been called as I had this past week with Lions fans. And that says a lot, because I've had some arguments with Bears fans. I've had some arguments with Vikings fans over the years. 49ers fans, right? Seahawks fans. I've been in Philly, and I've, that's even bad. But it was just like so many people just making it like in their mind, like it's okay. Like what the Lions do is just because they're a stronger football team than every other team in the NFL. And every other team is soft and they need to get better. Like, no. You watch so many of Kirby Joseph's plays, man. The guy is a dirty player. Like, he is. He is. I'm not going to say the same for Brian Branch, because this is really the only time I've seen him maybe do something like this. I may be wrong. But yeah. I'm not huge on it, but I'm going to move on. What do we have? Okay, McDuffie, 107. Oh, here's a nice play by McDuffie, and he was the best linebacker on the field in this game, which is crazy to say. I feel like the Packers have a revolving door at linebacker where it's like, this guy's the best this week, and then it's another guy, and then it's the other guy. Great run stop by McDuffie. Kind of doesn't wrap up at first, but then comes right back to it. And maybe if... I think it's Rashawn Gary. If Rashawn Gary wasn't there, maybe Montgomery breaks that from McDuffie and continues up. So I would say a good and a bad for McDuffie here. Great run pursuit. Great getting right through that block and just right in the run lane. Boom. But got to wrap up there as well. But good job getting back after it. David Montgomery looks like a pit bull. Yeah, man, he's a great runner. He's a tough runner. Interception. Oh, boy. So we're going to look at this objectively, because now we have the coach's film. This is Jordan Love's interception. Terrible interception. We can all agree on that. But I see what he was looking for. It's a screenplay. I don't even know if it's not even... No, sorry. It's not even a screen. It's just Jacobs is blocking for him. Gets a nice block on Kirby. And then at this point, it's a broken play. No one's really open. Love can't throw this ball from that exact spot. He's not looking left for this check down. This is off, and then that's locked up, and you also have a spy. So he has to roll right, and maybe he should just throw this out of bounds. But when you freeze frame it right there, Jacobs hand up, hey, just loft it up over to me. I'll catch it, and I'll try to make a move on this defender. Kirby Joseph just does an excellent job of just hawking that. Like, Kirby Joseph is not in a position to make a play on that ball right here, but then just leaks back, takes it. Yeah, throw the ball away, Jacob. I agree too. I'm just saying I see what he was looking for. I see what the point was. I don't think he was just throwing it to nothing, like some people are making it seem like he was just going, eh. Like, no, like Jacobs raised his hand. If you're a receiver and you raise your hand, like that tells the quarterback, hey, I'm open, throw me the ball, right? And I know a lot of receivers do that even when they're not open, but I don't think Josh Jacobs either knew that Joseph was going to make a play like that. And Jacobs probably wouldn't even have gained anything. I mean, I think, we would have lost yards on this. Right? Where did we start? We started at the 42. So if Jacobs caught this, I mean, we're losing 5 yards on that anyways. So there's another decision, another thing you're to think about. Like, Love, yeah, again, probably should have threw that away. Nixon hold. Oh, this is terrible. 12. This is another thing, right? So, like, I showed you that hold on Carl Brooks, right? And should have been a hold. 12:36. Should have been a hold. But this was called a hold. This was called a hold on Keyshawn Nixon. I'm going to put it in slow-mo because it's kind of hard to see if it's not. This was called a hold on Keyshawn Nixon. Inside shade. So he doesn't want to slant. And what does this receiver do? Tries to run a slant. With a little bit of an outside release. If this play would play. Outside release. A little hop step. I mean, he barely gets his hand on him and releases. That's within 5 yards. I think that's fine contact for in 5 yards. And if you're not calling other holds on this game, like we saw earlier, then you shouldn't be calling this. Call them all or call nothing, right? Like, be consistent, be congruent as a referee crew. Don't just call. And you could see the guy up here. This ref is the one that calls it. He does get his hand into his pocket instantly, but then he stares back down at this umpire and is like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's like, hey, am I able, do you see that too? Should I throw the flag? But he like almost questions it, then throws it real late. You know, if he saw that instantly and really thought it was a hold, he should have just threw the flag right when he saw it. Why does he hesitate? Why does this referee then point down here to whatever this ump is behind here, look at him, and then go, all right, throw the flag. You know what I mean? Wanted to see if it was complete first. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist regards to that, but I don't see that as a hold, man. That's physical. Like, if the Lions in the same breath are going to go, it's football, it's physical. Brian Branch, it's physical. And then cheer that the Packers got a hold like this. Come on. Let's be honest with ourselves. Come on. Let's be honest with ourselves. All right, the Gibbs touchdown, 9:36. I think this is the thumbnail of the video because it's so terrible. Sports betting, yeah, could be, man. This is awful. This is just horrible run fits by pretty much everyone on this defense. So, Gibbs is on the left side. You would think if it's going to be a handoff, it's going to come right in between here, right? But it's a great counter, a great cutback got by Gibbs. But I don't really like the alignment either by the Packers. Right off the snap, you seemingly have Edgerrin Cooper and Xavier McKinney going to the same exact gap. Quay Walker getting held out here. Eric Stokes, I don't know. Eric Stokes, I feel like, is literally shaving points sometimes. It just confuses me. I know he's not, like, tasked with being a run defender in this situation, but he's like, okay, yeah, that's fine, man. All right, I'll make a little run at the end to make it seem like I tried. Like, it's just soft. Like if you're here, who are you covering? You don't have a receiver out there. You don't even have anyone coming out for a route because Gibbs is getting a handoff. Maybe he's tasked that if Gibbs ran a wheel or a swing, that's him. So when he gets a handoff, attack that, man. Quay Walker's being blocked. Yeah, sure, he could maybe do a better job of getting off a tight end, but he doesn't. And then the run pursuit of Edgerrin Cooper and Xavier McKinney just completely overshooting that right side. Easy touchdown. 15 yards, 4th and 1, touchdown. Eric Stokes, I don't have any excuses for him anymore. In the coverage, in run, I mean, it just looks like you just gave up. Like you just gave up. Yeah, I do like the look. I think if Edgerrin Cooper shoots this left side and X continues to shoot the right, maybe that's what they were supposed to do. I mean, it's 4th and 1. Maybe they get the first, but it might not be a touchdown. Okay, we have Edgerrin Cooper, 729. I think this is a pretty good play by Coop. He had an up and down day as well. Yeah. Yeah, this is Edgerrin Cooper on the right side. What do I have here? Then it's a shift because of motion. Great pursuit. Great tackle by Edgerrin Cooper. Let's go to end zone view on this run play that goes for only 1 yard. Montgomery. So Cooper's, weak side backer right here. Lines do motion. Backers do a good job of shifting. Cooper kind of plays it. He waits. This is something Quay Walker doesn't do well. Process the run, then attack. Then find that run lane, attack, go and make a tackle, right? So Edgerrin Cooper kind of had an up and down day too, but there are some good plays. Jaden Reed, 514. 514. Here we go. I kind of forget what this play is, but I'll let it play once through. Stokes for King. Yeah, I honestly, at this point, I agree. Oh, yeah, here's a dagger concept. So the Packers, every team likes to use this. The Lions used it against us in this game, and Amon St. Brown had a big catch on it as well. But the Packers do a good job of doing some cheat motion. Motion out, cut back, jerk motion, cheat motion. It gets him moving before the snap. It gives him like a little bit of a head start. Dagger concept, so you have receiver here, vertical, clear. You have linebackers playing like a middle zone. So your idea here is to clear out the seam, have a receiver loop behind all these linebackers, and beat this guy to the inside. Great throw, great catch. Jaden Reed up the sideline to the 38-yard line. Good concept. Packers running a lot. Oh man, 217, 131. Okay. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, this is just like a preseason game, man. Like these next two plays, it's like a preseason game. I'm sure you'll know what they are. Well, it says it down here. First off, this is a crazy play by Manuel Wilson. Like as much as we could be like, oh, Elton Jenkins, didn't snap the ball well. I mean, it's right in Jordan Love's hands, and it's a slick day, and Elton does have to put it like in a better position, but it's right in his hands. and shout out to Emmanuel Wilson for somehow getting near back to the line of scrimmage. I have no idea how, but yeah, and then the very next play, it's not even like, oh, later in the game, he also fumbled another snap. Like, the very next play, man, and it's 3rd and 10, and you're down by 21 points. You got to score. You have to. And 2 straight plays, you're just dropping the football. It's a little low. And maybe this groin doesn't allow him to bend low as much to try to catch and corral this football, and that's part of the problem. Stop playing injured quarterbacks. You're just handcuffing your entire offense. You really are. I mean, it's sloppy. It's preseason. Like, come on. 42 seconds in the third. LVN. Great, another run stop by Lucas Van Ness here. We talked about him earlier. Let's go to the end zone view. Just makes it easier for the defensive line. LVN on the right side, and you can see again, they gave Preston Smith the least amount of snaps all year in this game. They were setting themselves up to go, hey, we can move on because we have guys like LVN making very similar run defense plays. And as he did there for a loss of 1. That Preston Smith does. LVN does a great job at holding the edge against the run. Boom, hold the edge, and dip underneath at the last second and get on the ball carrier. We saw that earlier in this game. So as much as people want to hate LVN and go, this guy never gets to the quarterback, he's a good run defender. And he's a good, versatile defensive lineman that can help against the run. So I would like him to upgrade his pass rush repertoire and get after the quarterback more, and I think that will come. He's a very young player. He's still progressing. And that's why the Packers felt comfortable trading away Preston Smith. Great run defense play here by Lucas Van Ness. Loss of 1. Another Watson. Okay. Watson dig. Another good play by Christian Watson. A great route ran. So we saw a deep out early in this video. Here we're going to see a deep dig, right? So cornerback, I think, is press man. He is. And Watson, just a great twitch at the top of this route. So at least gets a jab foot outside. Right off the snap, good release to at least threaten outside. He pushes that cornerback a step outside, giving the inside. Watson re-stems, hand fights, quick cut. It's a speed dig. It's not even, you don't even really drop your hips. It's just a good quick cut, getting your hand on that defender, 1 foot in the dirt, get across the field. Good catch, good route by Christian Watson. Oh, and then not very next play, but right after it was that wild deep ball to Watson. Motion, pistol, should have been a touchdown. Let's be honest. Motion, Watson, outside release, kind of like just a 9 or a bang 8. I can't even really tell. It might be a bang 8 route, but he's got to keep running to that, man. If he just runs, yeah, underthrown. Yeah, I agree too. I agree that it was underthrown, but Love gets hit while throwing that. That definitely affected that throw. But Watson should have just kept. Was it the weather? I'm sure. Yeah, 100%. That affects it, man. Tracking a ball in the rain and the wind, that affects the trajectory of the ball. It definitely does. And I'm not trying to sit here and scrutinize Watson too much because it's hard to track a ball in the wind and the rain. But it just looks crazy, man. It's just like we're in week 9 and we're seeing things like this. And that's why a lot of people are like, hey, man, once the Packers finally get it together, they're a great football team. The 8th rated football team via DVOA. So, they're still a good football team. It's got to clean up dumb mistakes like this that are just, they're doing it to themselves, Jaden Reed, 12:30 in the 4th. Yeah, 28 yards. Jaden Reed. LVN is the next Dean Lowry. I feel like sometimes I show things and people just don't listen. I swear. I feel like that happens so much in YouTube videos. I'll explain something so much, and people will say the same exact thing. Like, that just makes no sense. They're not even similar players. Here we have Jaden Reed out of the slot. Outside release. It's a slot fade to like a, yeah, just a slot fade back shoulder. Great great adjustment on this football. Great ball as well by Jordan Love. Lions are in man coverage, at least on the downside, on the bottom side here. Great play by Jaden Reed. Excellent catch. I mean, it's sticky coverage. That's Ennis Rakestraw, rookie. You know, that's sticky coverage and just late hands. Super late hands. Super late hands. I miss Aaron Campman. Me too, man. Me too, Casey. We have 3 more plays. That's it. You know, gotta show this one, of course, because I want to be, you know, want to show both sides. I'm a huge Dontayvion Wicks supporter, but this shit keeps happening. It just keeps on happening. This, first off, 2nd and 1 should have been a run. 3rd and 1, you could argue this should have been a run too. But I'm not, you know, terribly mad that we try to pass on one of these plays. It's just both of them. Then you get 4th and 1. It's like, okay, now you know you're running because the previous 2 pass plays didn't work. So Jordan Love does the whole Aaron Rodgers back turn to the line of scrimmage play action. Rodgers always did an excellent job at that, and it works. And I think if Love goes to his second progression quicker, he probably gets this ball in a better spot. His first progression is Kraft. His second might even be Dobbs, and his third is back to the middle to Wicks. And, you know, yeah, his third is Wicks because I saw him glance up here for a second. Covered. Oh, Wicks is literally wide open. Let's just throw a ball. Sure, little behind him. I don't care, man. I don't care. You're a receiver in the NFL. If I was playing in my recreational league, and I know it's not the NFL clearly, but if I was playing in my recreational league and we ran a play like this and this happened, I'm going back to the huddle and saying, yeah, my bad. I dropped the shit out of that football. I'm not going, well, you could have put it a little bit more in my numbers. Like, no. You catch the football. Like, it hit you in both hands. You're a receiver in the NFL, and you have no defender within 6 yards of you. Catch the ball. You know, Wicks, it's raining. I get it. Maybe you want to body catch it a little bit more. But any NFL receiver should be able to make this catch. Literally every single one in the league. Every single one in the league. You got to catch it. And that's the thing, man. Like, this is why he remains on the field. He just gets open. Yeah, I can enjoy his release, and this is why he's my favorite receiver in the NFL. Hop step, Davante Adams, dude, it's like a crossover in basketball. It's an unorthodox release package, the same that Davante Adams used. Doing a hop here, a jump up, literally every coach at the intermediate level would tell you don't do that because you're not supposed to ingrain that type of behavior into wide receivers because getting up off your feet, it makes you susceptible to getting jammed and getting thrown off platform. But the fact that he can do this so easily and just cook defenders like that is why he's on the field. And he's going to continue to remain on the field. I saw tweets over the weekend that I forget who it was by, but like, oh, the Packers should not play Wicks anymore. Like, dude, if he gets open like this, the catches are going to come. Same as it did with Davante Adams in year 2. And I hate to keep making that comparison, but it's so blatant. It's so blatant of a comparison. Not only the type of receiver that they are, the type of release that they have, the type of routes that they run, and the year 2 crazy drop issues. It's wild that he's so damn good at getting wide open, but so damn bad at catching the football. It's absolutely insane, but it will come. It will come, and all the people hating on him will do the same 180 that they did with Davante Adams, saying Davante should be cut in year 2. They're going to do the exact same 180. I guarantee it because Wicks will get there. He will. I guarantee it. I mean, it's, you know, it's no one at the NFL level gets open like that and doesn't remain in the NFL as a top-tier wide receiver. It just doesn't happen. 2:09 in the fourth quarter. We have 2 straight Quay Walker plays. Oh, yeah, this is to end the game. So, I mean, the Packers are already down by 10. Game's essentially over. And we just have, you know, Lions need to get a first down. Does he have small hands? I don't think so. Give me 1 second. I'll, RAS Dontayvion Wicks. All right, let me go back to, hold on. Film review. 10-inch hands, no, it's fine. That's like a quarter an inch smaller than Aaron Rodgers. I think I have 10.25, so I have slightly bigger hands than Dontayvion Wicks, but I'm not normal. That's a normal size. 10-inch hands for a wide receiver is more than fine. It's more than fine. Okay, so here's Quay Walker on this play. 1st and 10. Just gets washed out. You know, like the Packers are like, and to be fair, the Lions are great at setting up run blocking and are a great run blocking football team, a powerful in the trenches team. But the Packers just got out, you know, they just played less physical. And Quay Walker just like threw himself into that situation. You know, again, watch Quay Walker off the snap. I know we're trying to stop the run. I know you need to get down there and you're almost guaranteeing that, hey, the Lions are going to run. Just give it a half a step to let this develop, then attack. You're just throwing yourself into a block. You know, Edgerrin Cooper does an okay job trying to fight through that block. On the backside, you have Enigbari get absolutely smoked by Laporta. Great job by Laporta. The Quay, just one half step, man. Just one half step and then attack. I mean, if he just did that, he'd become a great Mike, in my opinion. 203, very next play, I think. Yeah, it's terrible. This is bad. So with that mindset of the previous play that you just allowed a first down on, now you have another first down, 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, and you're almost guaranteeing that, hey, the Lions are probably going to run again. So you're going to play this aggressively, right? Right? So off the snap, why does he wait on this one? I'm sure he's reading the offensive line, saying, oh, well, that's a pass-blocking offensive line. You see play action, again, just like earlier with Jahmyr Gibbs. You're just covering grass. And I see it. I see it here. You're kind of, he's looking backside. He's looking at 17, thinking it's to be an in-breaker. And it would have. And if Quay drops down here, maybe Goff fits it into the middle. But I like those odds better with X screaming downhill to break that up or get an interception, right? Don't give them the easy yards. And then he just gets cooked. And Eric Wilson gets cooked. I mean, it's bad. It's not good. It's like, I get what he's doing. He's trying to get back to 17 here. He's trying to almost like robot, right? You right when you see the play action, robot back to the crosser. But it's 2 minutes left in the game. And I would take those odds. Quay, go lock up this dude. If Goff wants to try to fit that into 17, I'll take those odds with X behind him. But I'm not going to take these odds because those are 100% odds of just allowing Montgomery to be wide open. And then not only that, just like, yeah, you're not tackling me. Like, you can't tackle me. You're not going to. You haven't all day. First down, game over. So that's a film review. A little bit troublesome. Is this Quay's last year? I don't know. I think he can get better. I really do. I'm not trying to fully write him off. I think, you know, a scheme switch to 4-3. It takes a little bit. I think guys are going to get better, and we're still waiting for that. But, yeah. Is it, let me actually look. Is it his last? Contractually, is that what you mean? They won't accept a 5th-year option on him. That's a guarantee. And contractually, 2025 is his last year. I'll show you guys real quick. Contractually, 2025 is his last year. So 2024, 3.7 mil. 2025, 4.4 mil. And then they have a 5th-year option at, I don't know what the rate is for linebackers. Probably like 12. I don't even know. I can actually look. 5th-year option. I thought it's on here. I'm pretty sure it's on here. 5th-year option. There we go. They're not going to accept a 5th-year option for Quay Walker. Like, there's no need. 2022. Oh, so that's for the next upcoming. But we can look at a linebacker maybe. Is there a linebacker in this class? Edge. Oh, my God, so many edge. Is there a single linebacker? Oh, Quay Walker. Yeah, 5th-year option at $16 million cap hit. It's not happening. Yeah. $16 million 5th-year option in 2026. Not happening. So there's your answer. Like 100%. I'll give you guys all $100 if it does. Because it's not. Doesn't mean he can't remain a Packer after that. It's just there's no need. There's no need of 5th-year option. It's the same thing as like Eric Stokes. Like, why would you there's no point, right? No reason to do that. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you coming by to the watch party. I'm going to go get Chipotle. I get it every Wednesday, and it's my favorite meal, and I wish they would sponsor me because I spend a lot of money there. But they don't. Appreciate you guys coming by to the live stream. Again, bye week. Hopefully, we can get it right. We can get it right to go head to Chicago, take on the Bears, and show them that, hey, we still own you. And this team isn't over. This team isn't done. We're a 6-3 football team. We are third in the division, but 6-3 could lead some divisions. So let's be transparent with ourselves. Let's be positive, optimistic, and go, hey, there's a lot of football left to be played. Week 9 doesn't mean anything for either the Packers or the Lions. Maybe in the future in terms of tiebreakers, but what matters is at the end of the season, in the playoffs, right? Let's see what happens when the Packers go to Detroit, just like last year. Let's see what happens after that first game. First game doesn't mean much. Whatever. Put it in the rearview mirror. All right, move on. It sucks, but move on. The Packers, I think they're going to move on, and I think they're going to get better. And I think we're going to see some better football in the later month of October and into December. So I appreciate you guys coming by to the live stream again. Go check out Sleeper. I'm still giving away our new giveaway. Check out Sleeper, code BASS, PAS. Link is pinned in the chat. It's also in the description. Get you a deposit match of up to $100, and I'm giving away a Jaden Reed jersey if you do make a first-time deposit with code BASS. Supporting the sponsor is supporting the channel, so get in on that giveaway. A reminder, I just finished the giveaway for a Xavier McKinney jersey. It's on my community tab on YouTube, so go check that to make sure if it's you, so then you can check your email, and I'll send that jersey to you. So appreciate you guys for coming by. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Pack Go.